So before we start on the yogic path, I want to tell you there are a lot of instructors out there, all different thoughts of school yogic practices out there. And a lot of us get confused and intimidated what is the best for us and what should we start with. So my advice to all of you would be to start with anything that you feel you vibe with, you are compatible with. Just keep in mind three cardinal principles of doing yoga. I prefer to take bath before doing yoga. You may or may not take bath before doing yoga. If you do take bath before doing yoga, your skin is also going to absorb more vitamin D, more pran, more air. So I would advise you to be cleansed physically inside out before you start with your yogic practice. Yes, you can have a cup of tea, a biscuit before you start with yoga. I generally eat something a very little bit half an hour before I start my yogic practice. If you eat something very heavy, you have a heavy lunch or a heavy breakfast, then time yourself between 3 hours to 5 hours. Give a gap before you start your yogic practice. Now, the two most important principles are of breathing. The right way of breathing in yoga is the breathing, the scientific breathing that our yogic gurus and rishi munis thousands and thousands of millennia years ago taught us, passed it on to us, is the basic difference between a exercise, a sport and a yogic practice. So when we do yoga, our attention is towards the breath, and that is how we are going to channel the universal energy and center ourselves in physical and spiritual sense and mental sense also. So the breathing principle that you should be mindful about before we start with the yogic practice every day is when you are going away from the ground, away from the gravity, you are going to inhale. And there are two lines of thoughts. One is silent breathing. Your breath should not make any sound. So I have practiced no sound breath yoga and sound with the breathing that comes, forceful inhalation and exhalation. I have practiced both schools of thought over the years, and my suggestion to you would be to practice forceful inhalation and forceful exhalation, because that way you will be inhaling a lot of pran and activating a lot of your chakras instantly. So make sure when you do forceful inhale, forceful means strong. There should not be something blocking your nasal, your windpipe, your lungs. The flow should be easy. In modern science, we are taught that we inhale and it goes in our lungs and it comes back. That's a breath. But in yogic school of thought, you have to absorb, you have to imagine that when you are breathing, your breath is going to your spiritual centers, your chakras. That's the mindful breathing every yogic person should know. So you have to breathe the rainbow energy, the white light, the golden light inside while doing yoga. And that way you are not just doing yoga, you are also doing meditation. So inhale all the pure energy, exhale all the toxic negativity that you come across day to day. But just focus on the inhalation. Exhalation will happen on its own. So I'm coming back to my cardinal principle, which is inhale. Inhale. Okay? And exhale. Be sure when you come towards the ground, you have to exhale. Expand. So your heart chakra, your chest is expanding when you are going away from the ground, be it any asana. The second breathing technique is when you are stretching your body, you're horizontally stretching your body. You're stretching your toes like this. Okay, these are your toes, imagine. So stretching them like this. Then you are inhaling. When you are coming like this, you are exhaling. So another breathing technique which is important in yoga is when you are tensing your muscles. When you are inhaling, tense your muscles, contract them. When you are releasing, exhaling, don't exhale from your lungs or your diaphragm. Imagine that you are exhaling it all the way down from your root chakra, all the way up and to your nasal cavity. And this is something very basic in every school of yoga, propounded by any yoga guru. And don't be confused with which school to join, which instructor to go to, what kind of yoga to start with. Just start doing it. And remember, yoga is all about play. Play with your body. Be like a child. Let the energy flow in, let it go out. Just relax. Because in that 1 hour of yoga that you do every day or two, forget that you are a grown up and introduce it to your children and inculcate it. Hindu way of life. It was propounded by Hindu rishis and scholars and yogis. The first guru of yoga is considered to be Lord Shiva, who gave his diksha, imparted his knowledge to goddess Parvati. So in yoga, we consider Lord Shiva, Adi Shankara, as the first guru of yoga, and the first student being his wife, his consort, goddess Parvati. And in modern yoga, people have started saying that it has nothing to do with religion, it is not religious. That is basically done to increase the acceptability of a form of exercise in the lifestyle of every person coming from any faith. And if you really see, generally when you are breathing, exhaling, this is something very universal and you will have your experience. And when you are doing yoga, there is no religion. It's only when you are doing meditation, then you can introduce the religious aspect in your meditation, or you may not choose the religious aspect like mantra or imagining a deity or god. You can choose your own deity or god, because in Hinduism we believe that all gods are one and there is only one god in different forms. So in Hindu way of life means accepting all ways of life and having a harmonious coexistence. So don't be too dogmatic in your approach, and not, practice yoga thinking that it is imposition of Hindu faith on any other religion. It's not. It's basically a very scientific way of doing exercise, breathing, meditation. And yoga is of 3 types: yoga, the asanas that we do, and the pranayam that we do. Pranayam means the subtle vital energy that is in the environment and that our body is absorbing through the corrective breathing and the asanas that we practice. Asana means posture. And then there are mudras. There are different mudras that I will tell you about and the significance of them. And then there are bandhs, the blocks that we forcefully make to control the flow of pranic energy in our body. And choose a yoga instructor with whom you feel you are vibing with, gelling with, and whose energy you absorb, and you enjoy the pace of the class and you are getting understanding of it. And don't be confused by anything, just make a beginning, just start doing it. And I hope when you are doing yoga, you are also mindful of what you are eating, and make sure it is more of fruits, and lot of vegetables, lot of organic things which are chemical free, avoid preservatives, avoid artificial modern day packaged things, and have something which is straight from the nature. And catch up with me on this space for more to come. Namaste.